Good evening. It is an absolute honor to be here on behalf of the Congressional Study Group on Korea and the former members of Congress. And, you know, it's interesting because when you do follow, Kevin Wu and Dr. Shang, this is really tough. But to be here on behalf of the Congressional Study Group on Korea and the former members of Congress to receive this award is quite an honor. And I will tell you that former President Harry Truman once said of Van Fleet, General Van Fleet, is that General Van Fleet is the greatest general we have ever had. I sent him to Greece, and we won the war. I sent him to Korea, and we won the war. Van Fleet is the recipient of so many honors: the Distinguished Service Cross, the Distinguished Service Medal, the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, and many more. But truly, on a personal note, as Thomas pointed out, the fact that he was from my home community. We grew up, we knew of him, we didn't know. We knew that in 1922 to 1923, he was the head football coach at the University of Florida because he was commander of the ROTC there. But we never knew the extent of his influence that he had on the people of South Korea. And so today, I wish to thank the Korea Society on behalf of the former members of Congress and the Congressional Study Group on Korea for this distinguished award. It's a pleasure to be honored alongside POSCON and Dr. Shang. What a tremendous story. I think your individual passion for what you have done in POSCON exhibits what Korea has done since its independence in the 1950s. And that has been a phenomenal, unusually miraculous result of the Korean people seeking their own destiny and being incredibly successful at it. The Congressional Study Group on Korea was created in 2018 thanks to Thomas Byrne and his efforts. And since then, we have 140 current members of Congress, and we're working even harder. But I will tell you what, it will not be long. We will have more than 270. We will have a majority, and we can control that Congress so that Korea will have what it needs when the time comes, because since its inception, we have grown at over 225%, which is quite phenomenal in my estimation, having served there. We are a bipartisan organization that brings members and senior management staff of Congress together. And as we know, or at least as I know, having been a member of Congress, senior management staff really runs things over there. So it's good to have them in there on the ground floor being part of the Congressional Study Group on Korea. Our study group is housed at the former members of Congress, and it is a seamless network of FMC programs that combine experience and wisdom of former members, i.e. me, and current members, but most importantly, the current members. The study groups benefits from the synergies with FMC's 4 additional study groups that we have with other nations, and exchanges as well as partners including the Embassy of Korea, our business supporters, and our institutional funder, the Korea Society. In Washington, D.C., roundtable discussions on Capitol Hill feature high-level experts and representatives from the U.S. Congress, South Korean National Assembly, the U.S. and Republic of Korea governments, business and community, and academia. Overseas programming, which is so important, consists of our annual members on a congressional delegation and has included senior congressional staff, as I pointed out. The study group's next trip is going to be in spring of 2026, and they're waiting. The members of Congress are waiting to be chosen to go to this, which is fantastic. That speaks volumes of what our relationship has grown between the United States and the Republic of Korea. Our work has strengthened the United States' relationship with our congressional peers in South Korea, and it is vital to sustaining the depth of our U.S.-Korean relations. Our work showcases the economic and security partnerships between the United States and the Republic of Korea at a time, in case we haven't noticed, as we talked about tariffs, as we talked about some of those unintended consequences that have happened internationally in the United States, between the United States and South Korea. But this has been tremendous for our relationship between Congress and South Korea to have this study group and members of Congress to have the resources to find out what is actually going on instead of having to listen to the media. That is part of the relationship that has been built through the Congressional Study Group and the Korea Society. The unique thing about this, and as Thomas pointed out, yes, I am a professor, and yes, I can bore people with lectures, and I prefer not to do that because I believe that experiential opportunities are the key to essential learning and remembering from that learning. And the FMC study groups emphasizes dialogue and informal exchange over presentations to create better channels of communication and ultimately to build lasting personal relationships by establishing mutual understanding and trust, something we talked about earlier. The Congressional Study Group on Korea creates firsthand exceptional opportunities for dialogue between its delegations and Korean partners, facilitating the ongoing development of ties between key leaders in the U.S. and the Republic of Korea. In turn, members and congressional staff now have a greater understanding and connection to Korea and will be able to communicate the value of U.S. Republic of Korea ties to their colleagues. One of the things I teach my students that is so important is to have relationships with people, especially outside your comfort zone and especially with people of diverse and adverse ideological thought. Fortunately, we don't have it that much with Korea, but at least we are preparing our members of Congress to develop those relationships with others in Korea. On behalf of the Congressional Study Group of Korea, I would like to offer special thanks to the longtime partnership with the Korean Society's President and CEO, Thomas Byrne, who has been a champion of the Congressional Study Group of Korea's work and vision to developing the unique bipartisanship forum for expanding ties between the U.S. and Korea through interparliamentary exchange. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be here, FMC wouldn't be here without Thomas Byrne. It was because of him that we be able to establish this partnership. He has been a participant in the study group programming both in D.C. and in the Republic of Korea, and he has been an invaluable asset to our work here. Tom, as you continue to move on through life, and wherever you may go, we wish to offer our most sincere thank you for your counsel and support of the Congressional Study Group on Korea and contributing to the United States and Korea Republic of Korea ties. Let me just tell you, when we talked about TKS, trust, knowledge, and service, there has been no greater example of that than that has been exhibited by Thomas Byrne with his relationship with the Congressional Study Group on Korea. Tom, we thank you, and I am honored to call you my friend. I would like to, I would be remiss in not congratulating the Congressional Study Group people here that are here with the former members of Congress. But before that, Ami Berry and Young Kim would like to have been here. Having lived through several shutdowns of Congress, I understand why they cannot make it. And they send their best. They are tremendous supporters. They are advocates beyond belief for strong U.S. South Korean ties. And I also wish to recognize the Senate co-chairs, Brian Schatz and Dan Sullivan, who are also strong advocates of this alliance. Finally, I would like to recognize the FMC staff that's in our audience tonight, CEO Pete Weichlin, who has been phenomenal in building this relationship, Sabine Schleit, who is with our Chief Operating Officer, Officer Lorraine Harbison, who could not be here, but Olivia Truesdale, who took me to South Korea and who is the Congressional Study Group of Korea's Program Director. You guys have made this happen. Again, members of Congress are only as good as their staff, and the Congressional Study Group is only as good as the staff that they have, and this staff has been phenomenal, and that's why we're receiving this award, because of their efforts. And as I close, yes, I'm closing, trust me, I know we have to go home. The Congressional Study Group on Korea will continue to strive to strengthen U.S.-Korean relations in the spirit of General James A. Van Fleet, who I call a neighbor, even though I never met him. But his leadership has definitely helped build the defense infrastructure in Korea. Thank you so much again for our hosts for the evening and for our great honor to have this bestowed upon us. God bless you all, and thank you on behalf of the Congressional Study Groups of Korea. Thank you, Thomas.